a talk show predicting parodies of the most popular drama, Splendid Days. Hello, everyone. Our lives are all dramas. Everyone in front of the screen. How was your day today? Have you ever had dinner, had a cup of coffee, turned on the TV and watched a drama? When you suddenly thought, my life is like a drama too. Today, this time is Life's Twilight prediction talk time for all of us who are walking towards twilight. Would you like to join me and unfold our story, which is not over yet? The story I'm going to tell you today is titled Splendid Days, someone said. They say the spring of life has already passed, but is that really true? Flowers bloom in autumn, and love begins in winter. Well then, shall we now go into the story of one man together? On a rainy morning in the city centre, people are busy scattering under their own umbrellas. But one man walks alone, as if walking to the end of the world. His name is Kim Seong-ho, 68 years old. He was once the pillar of his family and a recognized leader at work. But now the days are too long, and there is no one to talk to. I thought everything would end when I retired. I thought playing golf every day and traveling would make me happy. But when I'm sitting alone at home, the ticking of the clock is so loud. My wife passed away 3 years ago. The kids are all busy, and I wonder what I've been living for. Have you ever felt this way? If so, please leave a comment saying, I agree. Our Seong-ho story. From now on, the parody talk of the most popular drama Splendid Days will begin in earnest. One day, Seong-ho went out as usual. A small cafe at the end of an alley on a rainy day. He suddenly stopped walking. The back of a woman seen through the window was exactly the same as it was 40 years ago. Seong-ho entered the cafe and asked with a trembling voice, Yoon, Jong-hee, Jong-hee. Slowly turned her head and asked, Seong-ho. Kim. In a moment of silence, their eyes met, and Jong-hee smiled. It's been 40 years. It rained like this back then, too, right? Seong-ho sits down on the chair and says, I remember that. He lowers his head shyly. In the spring of 1985, the two met as seniors and juniors in a university club. Jong-hee majored in literature and Seong-ho majored in engineering. Although we lived in different worlds, our hearts were drawn to the same place. But those were the times back then. It was a time when I married the person my parents chose for me and buried my first love in my heart. Seong-ho couldn't even confess to Jong-hee and just watched from afar. Jong-hee opens the door first. I knew you liked me back then. Seong-ho answers weakly. I'm sorry. I didn't have the courage. That was a lifelong regret, says Jong-hee. Me too. I waited for you to tell me. But in the end, we went our separate ways. Everyone, do you memories have any of your first love? That person who I couldn't say a word to just kept in my heart. Even after 40 years, that name is unforgettable. Can our Seong-ho and Jong-hee turn back time now? After that day, the two met often. It started with a cup of coffee, then a walk in the park, and before we were seeing each other every day. A long conversation took place between two people on a bench by the lake. Seong-ho, isn't this a bit strange at our age? Jong-hee speaks first again. What's wrong? Age doesn't matter in love. What does our age matter? He says, raising his voice. Jong-hee says with a smile, If my children found out, they would be horrified. Seong-ho also plays the Jang-gu while acting like a trot song lyricist. It's the same for me too. If our son finds out, he'll probably come flying right away. The two of them were having a great time laughing together. But the happiness didn't last long. The world did not readily accept their courage. Seong-ho's son was very angry and said, "Father, what kind of love is this now? It's only been 3 years since Mom passed away. What would people around you say?" He raises his voice, saying, "What about our reputation?" Seong-ho mutters quietly, saying, "Saving face." His son quickly takes it back. "Yeah, face, how much gossip would people have if I told them I was dating at your age?" But Seong-ho quietly and firmly says one thing. "You don't know. What is the loneliness of growing older? What is it like to wake up every morning with no one to talk to? My mother was the one I loved my whole life. But Mom would have wanted it too. Rather than living alone and lonely, I'd rather live with someone and laugh together." Meanwhile, let's find out how the children reacted at Jong-hee's house. "Mom, you just have to be happy. We're at that age too. When I see my mom smiling, it feels like it's been a while since I've been like that. I feel like I'm on the side of understanding my mom's feelings." Then Jong-hee grabs a daughter's wrist and says, "Thank you, daughter," with tears in her eyes. Folks, is late love a sin? Life's final gift? What do you guys think? So the seasons changed, and the love between the two deepened. Even the brief warmth of my fingertips felt like a gift from life. At that time, I thought losing you was my punishment in life, said Jong-hee, speaking first. It's not a punishment anymore, it's a gift. I was able to meet you again, Seong-ho says, his wrist tightening. And the sight of the two people embracing each other was so beautiful and affectionate. But just behind happiness, trials always lurk. It's been a long time coming. Now it's a matter of time, the doctor said. In the hospital room, Jong-hee is lying on the bed, and Seong-ho sits next to her, holding her hand tightly and speaking. Now please live. Just one more day. Then me, we promised. Let's meet again. When the cherry blossoms bloom. Jong-hee smiled faintly and said, It's okay. Seong-ho, I'm not lonely anymore. I've missed you for 40 years, but I'm happy that we can finally be together like this. Seong-ho burst into tears and said, I'm sorry, Jong-hee. I should have found the courage 40 years ago. And trailed off. No, that was the right time. And now is the right time. We're not late, Jong-hee said in a strong voice. The day after the rain stopped, cherry blossoms bloomed in the park. Seong-ho sat alone on a bench and looked up at the sky. She is no longer with us, but I feel like she is smiling somewhere in the wind. Jong-hee, Seong-ho quietly calls her name. Life was still splendid. However, I was thankful that the splendor had now been replaced with warmth. Cherry blossom petals began to flutter in the wind, as if praising their love. Everyone, how was today's most popular drama Splendid Days parody? A second spring comes to everyone. Your life is not over yet. Even on the last page of life, love exists. Please share your own splendid dramas in the comments. Our lives are all dramas. Please subscribe and like to join us. Next week, a parody of the hit drama Splendid Days. My life Twilight prediction talk. Let's meet again your life's drama and have the most popular dramas. And writing about your own drama in the comments. This is also the fun of life. See you again during the next popular drama. Splendid Days, parody prediction talk time. Bye.